Hey guys, what is up? And welcome back to the Alone the Alone in My Head podcast. I am Pete. If it's your first time listening, first time here, I talk a lot about mental health, bipolar disorder, depression, just coping with day-to-day, I guess you could say, mental illness or mental disorders from a personal perspective. I am not a therapist. I am not a doctor. I am just a person who has been through the ringer and still trying to be here in this world, right? So it's that's kind of what I do. And that's kind of what it's about. And if you're on, thank you so much for coming back out. This is episode number 55. Used to be called the Jersey to Vegas podcast. Now, I should call this podcast Leaning Against the Wall because that's where I am. I'm pretty much leaning against the wall because I don't have a spot to put this microphone. I don't have a spot to put a camera. So I'm just here in my bedroom, alone, and just trying to figure out a new setup before we get set up inside this new house. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about, I don't even want to say stages of grieving, because here's what I've learned in the loss of my job or my identity, I guess you could say, now with the loss of my father. It's never ending. Right, so who are we to put I read it, and I'm sure the stages are correct, but now I'm starting to put myself into this is where I am right now, and this is where I'm going to be next. Who says? A fucking Wikipedia? Wikipedia says so now I have to feel this way? Same for you. No, this is not linear. Right, this process is not linear. It's just like a diet. It's just like working out and trying to get stronger or transforming your body. It is not linear. It is not a straight line. These are not steps, right? You're not going to get to the next level by passing one level. I feel like it's a scribble, that's what it looks like. If there was a graph, it would be a scribble, which means it would be all over the place. And I feel like you go from one phase of denial to anger, back to denial, to depression, to acceptance, I guess. Is acceptance the last one? And when you really accept it, it's been over a year, that I've changed my identity, right, from a health coach, a person that ran a gym, and it's still there. Do people want it to magically go away? Do I want it to magically go away? Yeah, a lot of times I'm like, why do I even post these fucking things up? Why do I think back all the time? Because they were great memories? Because they were great times? But all I do is I fucking put myself back into another position of reminiscing to sadness. And I see that happening now, with my dad. But is it sadness or is it joy? There's so many fucking questions. Right? Is that actually sadness? Yeah, it's sadness, but at the same time, you're reminiscing and looking at joyful times you guys hung out together. I actually look at a sad time picture a lot of him crying when we first left for Las Vegas. I took a picture of him and my son, and he was saying goodbye to my son, and he was crying. And I took a picture of that because I rarely saw my dad show an emotion, right? Whether it's just happy and or pissed off. But for sadness, you never really see him cry that much. So for that moment, I took it and I look at it a lot, and it's right there, actually. It's right, it's right here. It's right on my desktop. It's peeking out at me. I opened it. It's right on the steps of Hopper Avenue, which is in Nutley, New Jersey. That was our old house, and it was right after a garage sale we had the day, so there's some stuff there, and he's hugging my son. Now, while he's crying and he's wiping tears off his eye with a napkin, while Phoenix is hugging him, and he's wearing my Club H hat and a mask. He's wearing a mask, but he's not wearing a mask, you know what I mean? It's on his chin. He's got a chin strap on. And that's it. And the key for the realtor is inside that weird lockbox right there hanging on the railing. But I look at that picture a lot. Not because I want to be sad, not that I want to be joyful, but I just want to remember. And everyone is going to move into these stages differently. The way you feel is not the way I feel. And the way I feel is not the way you're going to feel. So who are you, or a person that is, I don't know why I'm saying who are you, but like, I understand that people try to help. I understand that people don't want me to be sad, right? Because of my track record. I have a nice track record for the past few years of, attempting to kill myself. And that's fucking scary for people to cope with and or even talk about. But it's a truth. But there are times where everyone copes differently. Some people seek therapy, some people don't. Some people sit on top of a mountain, some people cry in their bed. Some people do both. But I think the main thing that I want people to understand is that the only thing is, I lost my train of thought. I know you want me to feel good, right? I know you want me to feel happy, because that's what I was. I was happy, fucking sometimes angry guy. And now I'm not, right? I'm not happy. I'm not anything anymore. I'm just what I'm trying to be. I'm not going to fake it either. Because the more you fake it, and that's the one thing someone said, is like, hey, just try to keep your mind off it. Try to keep my mind off it. What does that even mean? You forget about my father? Oh, just stay busy. Do something to stay busy. Why? So I don't have to feel the feelings that I'm feeling? That makes zero sense. And that's the problem with the stigma of mental health and people not being able to deal with their emotions. Because they would rather push it down, right? And they would rather put it in a fucking closet with the rest of their skeletons and never, ever feel pain. Because it's too scary. They never want to feel sadness because it's too scary. Or, why would I want to feel this way? Why would I want other people to feel? No, fuck other people. Because right now, you're the one in pain. You're the one in suffering. You're the one in anger and sadness. And even joy. So you express the emotions any way you need to express it. There's no right or wrong. There's no stages or steps. I've thought about this a lot. Because I'm reading, like, where am I? Because I'm trying to figure it out. For me, I like to learn more about stuff. And when I read the stages, yeah, I understand there is a track record that they're 100% correct. But at the same time, they're not stages one to the next. It's not one to the next. And you have to know that, right? It's all over the place. Because you could start in denial and finish acceptance and then end up in denial again. Based off whatever caused that emotion to trigger. I don't want to say trigger, but, I guess that's the word to use. There's no understanding it. There's no helping people. There's no guiding people, and this is what's going to be next, and this is going to be the worst part, and this is going to be the best part, and this is going to be over soon. No, you don't know anything. The only person that knows what you're feeling is you. And if you are so, I don't know, negligent, not the word, so naive to even understand that you're going to feel these feelings and not allow it to happen because you're too strong or your ego's too big, or you don't want people to see weakness, or you would rather just ignore the fact that your dad died, mom died, dog died, someone died, you lost your job, you lost your life. You'd rather just push that under the rug and smile and be like, I'm going to get another fucking job, I'm going to find another father, I'm going to find another mother. No. But that's what it feels like when someone says to me, don't worry about it. This will pass soon. Fuck you. How's that sound? How's that feel? Because it's the truth. Because it fucking hurts. It hurts so bad. that no one will ever understand until you unfortunately have to feel it. And it sucks. And I just think about the song from the Beatles, Oh Blah Dee, Oh Blah Da, Life Goes On. Right, I've been listening to a lot of Beatles. And they're fucking smart. Until they started doing like mushrooms and shit, and then they started getting a little crazy, you know. Like Yellow Submarine. Come on, calm down. But I gotta take a podcast pause break. Maybe you'll hear an ad. I'm not sure. Apparently, there are ads on my thing now, so whatever they're talking about, you let me know. All right, welcome back. So my mother was here for a little over a week, and my brother was here for about 3 days, and it was great. You know, they just left this morning, so it's kind of like the same process when someone leaves, but even now, more importantly, it's like my mother and my brother. Like with my mom, my dad, I'm just thinking about a video. Sorry, I dazed out for a second because I'm thinking about a video I took and I fucking just remembered it. I took a video of my dad holding my shoulders when I was walking him into the Uber. Maybe I'll put it up on the YouTube video while this is talking. I just remember to have it. It's got to be in there. That was the last time I saw him like on his feet. That's when I say goodbye, you know, and it's tough every single time. And last time or this morning was the same thing. You know, I didn't want them to leave, and watching them when I dropped them off at the airport, watching them walk away it's hard. You know, because it's not only me. Now, you know, Sage is crying, Phoenix is sad, and it just stinks that you have to do it all the time now. I think I'm becoming a professional at saying goodbye. Because I never used to have to. I lived in a bubble, right? I lived in a fucking bubble. I lived in the Belleville, Nutley, New Jersey bubble where everyone knows you. And everyone will do stuff for you and help you and be there for you. And that bubble bursted. Gone. But it's part of a growth. Right? It's part of this thing we call life. And what's the reason you get in the ringer or learning to say goodbye 1,000 times is maybe you're teaching someone something. Right? Maybe it's a lesson for your kids to learn at some point, and now you have the experience to at least talk about it. I remember I used to try to make videos that people would ask me questions about, you know, it was called Listen Up Kid, and I don't even know if that YouTube channel is up, but it was an idea for me to, just like the book and everything like this, right? I tried to force a channel that would help my kids, if I were not to be here, to answer their questions. So I would think of all these questions and common questions that most people ask. And then one was like, how do I deal with the death of a dog? And I made that video, but at the same time, I was talking about the death of my dog when I was 20 years old. I don't know what it felt like for real. And I used to make these videos about it, or how to act cool, or how to whatever, you know? And I didn't like that, right? I didn't continue it because it just didn't seem right, because it's my personal experience, but not experience, that sounded weird, but not a relevant and or recent one, which makes a difference. Just because you may have lost something 20 years ago is not the same feeling when you lose them more presently. So I would watch that video and cringe because it was completely different than how I feel now. The same pain is there, but it's just the connection is stronger. The connection is stronger this time around, which makes it even harder. I was young back then. Right, I was 21. I think it was 21. when I had to put Shannon down. Shannon was my first dog. I made that decision on my own because she was in a lot of pain, and I was trying to wait for my brother, but we didn't have cell phones back then. So I called the house, and no one picked up. So I made the decision there by myself, and it was the worst experience most likely of my entire life until now. Right, but it was different. I got angrier at that time. I was very angry at that time, where I would be self-destructive and smash my face into the mirror, and that's when my dad caught me. That's when he was very concerned with me because he heard something, and I'm in the bathroom, smashing my bedroom, smashing my head into my mirror while I'm bleeding, and he grabbed me and tried to control me. Something that I want to do now, right? I want to do it. Put my fucking head through windows, punch through glass, cut myself. I want to. But did I? No. And that's where I know there's improvement. And that's where I know there's, I don't want to say logic, but that's the only word that comes to my head. Because you just don't want to feel it. Right? And that's why people drink too. I'm not going to say I haven't. I drank to numb it, to numb away the feeling, or to distract the feeling rather than own the feeling. This is how it feels. Own it. Experience it. Meditate it and move. Right? You're going to experience these emotions, and I don't think you need to be scared of them. And it's the people that are scared of them are the ones that are going to try to make you feel good. Because they don't want to see you, because they're scared to see you feel pain. And that's perfectly fine. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just not the way I work, personally. Some people need someone to make sure they're okay and text or call or be there all the time. I get it. But I don't work that way. And so far this week, my text messages have been silent. I don't post much on social, so I don't get messages back. That's why I don't post. Because I don't want messages back. I just want to focus on the pain that I'm going through. Focus on the pain my family's going through, not just me. Right? It's not just me. Because when I think about them being in pain, or I think about my mom worrying about me, thinking that I'm worrying about my dad, but then watch her, into moments, like a lot of it today, this week was her just talking about him, and same as me. And my therapist said, from here on out, everything you do will be related to the loss of your dad. And it's so fucking true. Because I say things like, man, he loved XYZ, or he would love to be at this place, or he would hated this restaurant, or he would not watch this movie with us. And it becomes that story. And that's the joyful part. These are not tears of only sadness. It's tears of joy and remembering the good times, or, what situational times that would have happened. And you don't need to be scared of it. I feel that most people are so scared to feel an emotion that they put up a front. That you're tough, or you're whatever, and afraid to seek help that you need to seek. But you don't need to be afraid to seek help. You don't need to be afraid. Some people don't even need help. Some people are afraid just to talk about it. Just fucking find a friend. If you're that person that needs to talk to someone, talk to them. You have a network. You have 1 million people that'll talk to you. But that's up to us. To be willing to talk to them. So that's where it's on you. Like I said, it's hard to feel this pain. It's hard to feel this suffer. It's hard to feel this sadness. But you can't ignore it. You cannot ignore it. You have to embrace it and feel it and understand what it feels like to be sad. and understand what it's going to feel like to feel happy again at some point. But there's no rush. There's absolutely no rush. That is on your timeline, and that is when you feel like you're going to be ready for that change. Right? I guess it's just change that we're scared of. There's a change that we're dealing with again. Because when you lose someone or something, there's now a disruption inside your pattern. Right? There's disruption inside your world. Because it's not what you want it to happen. So how do you deal with that change is the most important thing. And I hope that, I'm not going to give you an answer. I don't think there is one. But I think you'll find it out on your own. And you have to listen to yourself to know what's best for you. Not based off what someone told you. And that's what I hear a lot of, right, in this time. It's like, you're going to feel this. This is going to be the worst day. And now I'm expecting it too. Now I feel like I'm programmed to feel these phases of grieving. But so far it's been back and forth 1,000 times. So I just think it's wrong. I don't think there's a straight line. I don't know if psychiatrists say so either. Maybe someone else has told you differently. I'm just doing based off what I read. But it's just a difficult time. And we just have to be strong on both sides. So like I said, it was great to see my brother. God, it was awesome. It was great to them to be here and hanging out with my mom and, just seeing them with the kids. It's the best. Hands down the best. And what's sad is that I already think about them not being able to see my mom. Because that's the road I take it. I think of other scenarios. I think of other things. But that's how I think. And you can't tell me to change that. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Why? Because it's a dreadful thought? It's truth. It's the only true thing in this world. The only true thing in this world is you live and you die. That's it. Everything else is not. What else is true? Tell me. You guys, I wish you could comment. Comment down below somewhere. And you let me know if there's another truth besides that. Now, I talk with my brother a lot. And it becomes very philosophical. It becomes very like, what the fuck do you guys even talk about? Sometimes Nat sits in a room and she's like, how the fuck did you guys get to this topic? It's just the way we talk. It's just the way we are. I'm really grateful that I do have, I guess, medication, because who knows where I may have been going in this situation if I weren't in at least some better stage of my mental health, or at least understand my mental health and where I am in it, and being willing to find help if needed, and even preventive. I'm just really grateful that I can be myself and feel the feelings that I'm going to feel without being scared of what people think or what people want or what other people need from me. So I'm going to end it on that, guys. If you have any comments, please let me know. If you have any, topics, please let me know. But thank you guys so much for coming out to the Alone in My Head podcast. My name is Pete. Next time, I'm going to talk about... What was it? Shit, I forgot. Okay, anyway. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Thank you so much again for coming out. Peace out, guys.